You may hear him. Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier.
Guys, there's nothing like boxing, and there are no athletes like fighters.
Struggling to get to his feet. Incredible thing. It's unbelievable.
Takes another right. Burns in deep trouble again. Burns is down. Burns is down.
You know, you dream of fights, I guess, but the man said I didn't live up there.
What's up, fight fans? I'm J.Cotto.
I set the scene from the mezzanine.
Welcome to J.Cotto's Fight Page.
I came up and we made out like it ain't nothing, what anything. Who's that in my window? My fight one window. You got niggas got info. Don't know what you in for. Movie deal, baby check, endorsement. I need all of that. She down her playing quarterback. Then I'm back when I call him back. My new joint, they brought it back. Battle rap, y'all brought it back. I'm stopped up. Then I popped up or propped up. Yeah, they brought that.
And welcome to Late Night Boxing Talk. And I got a couple of subjects to kick with y'all. And let me just get my notes here, because we're gonna go in. You know, there's just a couple of things that are bothering me, the rest of the fight fans. Just like to say peace to Reef, Watu, the Watcher. You know what I mean? And everybody else down with hashtag come back to boxing. Peace to y'all. You know what I mean? It's just the fact that there's certain things that are going on with certain trainers that are popping off at the mouth, and they're not fighting. And you can tell by their fighter, they're a little bothered by it, but they won't say nothing simply because they're relatives. Now, when I say relatives, you basically know who I'm talking about. And the person I'm speaking upon is basically the Garcias. Every time it's that time to fight, of course they're gonna sell the fight, but geez Louise, must it be all the time? Must it be all the time that you have to say the wrong things, man? And I'm speaking to Angel Garcia. Now, I had made a video called Garcia versus Crawford. It's heating up, and it's basically heating up. Now, Danny Garcia himself finally replies to Crawford, and he finally says that I'm the bigger man. That, you know, I'm a bigger man than that, and it is what it is. I have tunnel vision. Okay, so from Angel Garcia spitting all of that poison with racism behind it, and Danny Garcia spitting what he had to spit and said, it's a different feel, isn't it? Isn't it a different feel? Someone had asked me, I think it was on one of ES News comment sections to video, and you know, my comment was just like, you know, this guy is talking a lot of crap. His son hasn't really fought anybody, and he asked me basically if Terrence Crawford had a better resume at 140. And I have to say, from 140 on, from this point, yeah. There's one fighter that Danny Garcia did not fight. I mean, he actually bounced from 140 in order not to fight him, and that's Victor Postol. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that. It's simply because Danny Garcia more than likely knew that he could not figure out Victor Postol. Now, of course, they fought in the amateurs, Danny Garcia and Terrence Crawford. But that's a different story. How long ago was that? How many fighters fought in the amateurs, and then when they fought in the pros, it was a different outcome, right? So basically, you know, Angel Garcia now just went on a rant. I think it was in the press conference today, and he was talking about Ring Magazine. He was like, "Who writes that shit?" You know, they have Danny number 16, but that's because your son has been fighting lightly. You know what I mean? I got to give it to Ring Magazine. At least they put down hard fighters. I mean, even though they disrespected, they put Ronda Rousey in the front. Ronda Rousey was fighting everybody, right? So It's basically the lack of competitiveness that you're putting your son behind, man. You know, Garcia's worried about price tags and money and the politics, and that's not boxing. You know, I think $10 million Garcia is getting for this Samuel Vargas fight. And let me remind you that Vargas is rumored to be ranked, I think, number 42, 47, or 50. Either way, it's another Salka, right? I mean, what business does a champion have? And this is not hating. This is the truth. What business does a fighter, a champion at that, of the welterweight division, holding the most coveted strap, held by many legends, man? What business does he have fighting a rank number 42, 47, or 50? Think about that. That's cheat codes, man. That's straight cheat codes. I mean, come on. Who can be a DSG fan at this point? And I always said it, man. I always said it. If you fight a less pedigreed fighter, your pedigree will diminish. Henceforth, if he fights Keith Thurman and Keith Thurman mollywops him, which I think he's going to do, then what are you guys what do you guys have to say? You would have to agree with me 110% that fighting lower pedigreed fighters will only lower your pedigree. It'll diminish your skills, man, because you're not testing yourself. That fighter that's ranked 42, 47, or 50, it's not helping. It's not going to help you to prepare against the elite in your era, right? So now it's all about the politics. He's worried about price tags and money. At least that's what his father's saying. So he's getting $10 million for this. And Angel also says that Terence Crawford isn't making money. Well, there's a difference between Terence Crawford and your son. Your son is a prize fighter. Terence Crawford's a legacy fighter. Now, I know this for a fact, that when Danny Garcia happens to meet Terence Crawford at 147, Terence Crawford is going to wax that ass. Now, all you Terence Crawford detractors, all you DSG lovers, y'all can put all this stuff down in the comment section if you like. You can give me a thumbs down if you like. But the day will come. And when the day comes, I would like you to take that thumbs down and put it where the sun don't shine. I would expect an apology from each and every one of y'all. But of course, you're going to be too proud and too puffed up in the chest to actually do that. So it is what it is, man. You know what I mean? You've got to understand that there's no way, if you fight a lesser fighter, that your skills are going to actually graduate. There's no way. There's no way. Peace to Michael Montero, who's been watching me. Hashtag come back to boxing, brother. Give a brother a shout out. And just basically, you know, you have to understand this as well. Angel Garcia has already tarnished the reputation of Danny Garcia with saying you fight Salkers, and later down on the road you take the big fights. But by the time you get down to the big fights down the road, you're not going to have the capabilities to handle those guys that have been fighting somebodies while you were fighting nobodies and getting all that money. Think about it. It's only boxing logic, guys. There's no hate here. I happen to think that Danny Garcia has potential. This is why he's not ranked one of my top 5. He's not in the welterweight division. He's not. He's not. And a Robert Guerrero, gatekeeper, no disrespect to Guerrero, but that's the way he's been carrying himself. And it is what it is. You know, I would like to get into, you know, this rumor that's going around. Now, I had seen it, I think it was on Twitter. And I think it was put up by in the boxing forum on Facebook, Hardcore Boxing. And I forgot who put it up. I think it was my man Ray Gomez. But Daniel Jacobs, my bad, Gennady Golovkin. Well, his manager Tom Loeffler and Eddie Hearn, all right, are negotiating for a GGG versus Froch match for Wembley Stadium. And they were at Monte Carlo doing this. And they both took a picture and they put it up. And they were negotiating on that fight. Personally, I don't want to see that fight. How long has it been since Froch fought? On top of that, Triple G has an agenda right now that he has to actually chase, and that's Daniel Jacobs. Which I feel Daniel, the Magic Man Jacobs, will definitely give Gennady Golovkin a run for his money. Why? Because he's the hardest hitting middleweight next to Gennady Golovkin. You would have to rank him number 2 next to Gennady Golovkin, the unified champion. I mean, think about this. You know what I mean? There's been a lot of talks and a lot of, you know, and of course Heyman stands in the way because he's a Heyman fighter. Okay, we understand that. But Daniel Jacobs versus Gennady Golovkin, let's get it. Let's get it. I mean, come on, guys. This is going. That match will be a barn burner. And regardless, Daniel Jacobs' first loss, it's a while back. On top of that, let's not forget that he beat a pound-for-pound champ in Quillen. So to see Daniel Jacobs and Gennady Golovkin is more of a lean towards me. I'm leaning more towards that way. You know what I mean? Gennady Golovkin has been doing spectacular in boxing. There are a lot of haters, a lot of detractors. Most of it is carried by racism. Let's be real. Most of it coming from the fighters, his fellow peers. Of course, it's fighters' envy, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? This fight right here can set the standard for the middleweight division, especially if Daniel Jacobs defeats Gennady Golovkin. If he prepares himself. But Daniel Jacobs, I feel, has the tools. You know, I've been saying this for a long while. And Daniel Jacobs is a champ. He deserves, you know what I'm saying? You know, they both deserve each other. You know what I mean? This is supposed to happen. So before Carl Froch is thrown in the picture as to Gennady Golovkin not have or making it seem like he has no one to fight, I feel that Daniel Jacobs should be the next runner-up. I mean, he is fighting 3 times Gennady Golovkin next year, right? So if he's fighting 3 times, one of them could be Carl Froch later on. Let's get this Daniel Jacobs business out the way. Do you agree with me or not? Give the brother a chance. You know what I mean? Daniel Jacobs hasn't fought in a while, but at the same time, he's still the champ. That's a strap. That's something that Gennady Golovkin needs in order to be considered unified champ. Now, Billy Joe Saunders, of course, can go wherever the hell he's going because that's just the way he's doing it. You know what I mean? Canelo got no strap. He's just a name. It doesn't matter. To me, I don't care what anybody says. If Canelo actually grows the gonads, the testicular fortitude to come up to 160, he would not be the A side. The A side would be Gennady Golovkin because he's the unified, undisputed champion. Agree with me? You know what I'm saying? Now, it's been said that Canelo, the packet of duck sauce, wants, well, actually not Canelo, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. wants to fight Canelo at 164. Good luck with that, Chavez Jr. Good luck with that. Because that's not going to happen. And if the packet of duck sauce, Canelo Alvarez, actually decides to take on Chavez Jr. at 164, then we have a total contradiction in our hands. We would have a big contradiction in our hands. And us as fight fans should actually point this out and ridicule the man. Because then that would just show that the reason why he would take Chavez Jr. It's of course it's because of his name, but it's beyond the point. It's beyond the point that it shows that he's scared, because Chavez Jr. hasn't fought in a minute. And what would stop you? Especially if you're going to 164, so you're making a big deal out of fighting Gennady Golovkin at 160. Wouldn't that be 4 pounds more? Think about that. The WBC would definitely push that, because Chavez Jr., his godfather is, Suleiman, of course. Everybody knows this. So, what would happen? What would you Canelo fans say? I would like to know. What would you guys say if that fight was to go off at 164 and he wouldn't fight Gennady Golovkin at a lesser weight at 160, which is only 5 pounds from 155? Now, Brook, yes, Brook versus Spencer will happen, simply because Brook has already stated that he would love to fight Spencer Jr., Errol Spencer Jr., or should I say Spencer Jr., for the IBF. He's not going anywhere. He's not going to vacate his strap and fight at middleweight. He's going to stay at 147. He's going to defend the IBF against Spence Jr. Now, that is a fight that every fight fan has wanted. That's a fight that we would love to see. That's a fight that has to go on. This is a fight that the fight fans want. And I would like to see exactly where Errol Spence Jr. has graduated at. I would like to see exactly where he is. You know what I'm saying? Where's his pedigree? Because Kell Brook is no slouch. And you guys that want this fight, or wanted this fight, as to wanting Thurman as well, because Mayweather said so, the prize fighter from Vegas, he wasn't ready at that time. He could be ready now. He would be ready after a Brook fight. But yet Brook is no slouch. Let's not forget that, fight fans. Brook is no slouch. Okay? He lasted, what, 4 rounds with Gennady Golovkin. He touched Gennady Golovkin for a good 1.5 rounds. You know what I mean? Spence Jr. is no joke. His body work is no joke. You know what I mean? Got footwork. It's powerful. The thing with him is fighting Brook. Brook is slick, and people don't see this. Brook also has power. Brook can expose. He can expose Spence Jr. Spence Jr. has that fighting style where it's just straight bricks he's throwing at you. You know what I mean? And he's swift too. Yes, he can expose Kell Brook, but Kell Brook is a bit more elite than him. You know what I'm saying? And he's fought somebody's. Brook has also stated that he would love to fight Queen Khan, Amir Khan. He'd love to fight Khan Kardashian. I don't know what's going on with that. That's kind of funny to me. But he says that he would love to fight him. Now, this would be a great fight, man, for both men. You know what I mean? And especially for Spence Jr. coming up, you know. And if he happens to knock out or win by stoppage, we have a new IBF champ. A young one at that. You know what I mean? And from there on, he can work his way up. He can work his way up. He can get a Thurman. He can get a Garcia if Garcia is still champ after the Thurman. Or if Garcia happens to beat Thurman. You know what I'm saying? Or if Thurman beats Garcia, unification right off the back. 3 titles around his waist. If he can get there. If he can pass Brook. That would be great for Spence Jr. I think Spence Jr. is a very good young talent that has a great future in boxing. The kid is nasty. He's nasty. But I wouldn't put him up at the pinnacle of the great ones just yet in his era. You know what I mean? I wouldn't put him up there with the prize fighter from Vegas. I wouldn't put him up there with Manny Pacquiao. A lot of people feel that because he, you know, and it's a triangle theory that needs to stop. That you know, just because he took Algeria out, doesn't mean that he can take Pacquiao out now. You know what I'm saying? You guys got to stop this. But it would be great for the kid. Now for Brook, that it would be magnificent, simply because at his age and with his skill level, taking out a Spence Jr., which is right now considered a major threat, he would tame that threat. He would become the threat. Then we can get a Thurman Brook. You know what I mean? Or Garcia Brook. Depends. Depends who. You know what I mean? It depends. You know, and I just feel that we can also throw Pacquiao in the mix too. We can get a Brook Pacquiao, which Brook has already stated that he wanted a Pacquiao fight. You know what I mean? And I guess Brook must be on a suicide mission with that one. But I don't see Kell Brook being swift enough or smart enough for Pacquiao. But that would be great. We can also get a Pacquiao Thurman. We can Pacquiao Garcia, which would be great too. But that's not going to happen because last time, it's all lies. I mean, personally, because Bob Arum, like I said before, has come out and said,
I've never, ever offered any money or any type of deal to Danny Garcia.
remember that. He shut that whole shit down. Excuse me, Lord, for cursing. So now it gets to the point where it can happen. It could happen if they're willing to take what they're worth. $10 million for a Pacquiao fight is not going to happen. Adrian Broner turned down a $4 to $8 million in between that ballpark figure. You know what I mean? So for Danny Garcia to do that would be pricing himself out as far as I'm concerned, because you probably could go at 8, probably could go 6. That's about it. Just because you have a strap. You don't have any bodies behind that strap. No defenses. If you get past a Thurman and you win a title, you'll be unified. Maybe, just maybe, you can get an $8 million figure. But otherwise than that, right now, I think the guys are only worth 4. You know what I'm saying? And that's still a lot of money. That's a lot of money a lot of these fighters are not going to see. Let's be real here, guys. You know, but that would be great. I mean, it's so much into the formula, into the welterweight division. And the thing that I'm upset about, omit Pacquiao out of that, because Pacquiao is a veteran. You know what I mean? He's an elite. But Thurman, Brook, Spence Jr., Garcia, Porter, I mean, it goes on and on with the rest of these young guys. They need to do what they used to do back in the day. You know what that is? Fight each other to become greater. That's what they need to do. They all need to fight each other to become greater. That's what everybody did. Everybody did that. You need to fight each other to be greater. Give each other names. No matter who loses. A loss does not make a fighter tarnished. It does not make a fighter ungreat. It makes them even greater. Especially if they come back, forget about it. They become even more at the pinnacle of a great one. But these guys are scared to let go of their O, except for Thurman. Thurman has stated, I'm not scared to let go of my O, so let's get it. See, that's why I love Keith Thurman, man. Keith Thurman's that warrior. Keith Thurman is from the cloth, man. He's been taught. He's been taught. You can keep the O. It does make you great when you're fighting somebodies and you're not using any type of, you know, advantages. But if you keep fighting, it gets you to that point of a great one. And nobody can take anything away from you. Even if you got it 1 loss, 2 losses, 3 losses. It doesn't matter. Look at Manny Pacquiao. 6 losses. And they were great names. Wasn't like he lost to nobodies. Now, what happens if Danny Garcia loses tomorrow to Vargas? Does that prove my theory right? About diminishing pedigree? You see what I'm saying? And it comes into the picture with that saying that it's boxing, anything can happen. Right? Right? Because I don't believe that, oh, it was his night. Oh, it was his night. No. It's who trained harder, who put in who put in the most work in the gym and came to actually fight. You know what I mean? And the thing with Garcia is, from what I overheard, and it caught my ear because I was like, wait a minute. Of course, in a fight, you're going to go for a knockout, but he's actually going to try to go for the knockout. So it's either going to be that left that he's going to try to land. That can be his mistake. See, he doesn't know if this kid actually trained for that left. It is what it is, man. You know, it is what it is. And I just want to say, man, before I close out, Conor McGregor, I like you and all, man. But you need to stop stealing boxing's swag, man. Stop it. You try to steal Joe Frazier's swag, all right, with the mink coat bit. Okay? Joe Frazier did the same thing when he fought Muhammad Ali the first time in Madison Square Garden. He wore a mink alpaca, you know what I'm saying, white mink. You're doing the same thing. And you got called out for it by your opponent because you still had the price tag. So what is that, rented? I mean, dude, stop it. Stop it. You try to take the prize fighter from Vegas, and I got to give him respect for this one. You try to take Floyd Mayweather's swag with the money, you know what I'm saying? Pay me my... No, man, no. Find your own lane. Stay in your own lane. I have no problem with UFC, but now UFC is always trying to down boxing, and then after they try to down boxing, they try to take all of the gimmicks, all of the punchlines, everything that's recognizable within boxing. They try to take it, and that does not work for you guys. You know why? Because dudes like me will call you out for it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not an Ellie Setback where you call them, because you call me an ass on my face. Excuse me, Lord, for cursing. I'll just do it right back at you. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. It's just the point. You can't continue to do this. You can't continue to disrespect boxing and then you take gimmicks from them. Can't do that. Can't do that. Because I guarantee you, just like you would guarantee me, that if someone was to go, if a boxer was to go to UFC, it's a whole different animal. You come to boxing, whole different animal. Floyd Mayweather will wipe the floor with you. Hands only, he would wipe the floor with you. This is something you're not understanding. Another thing you're not understanding here is respecting the greats of boxing. See, I took offense to that white mink that you wore because Joe Frazier did that. Joe Frazier did that so you won't have to do it. See what I mean? So henceforth, stay in your lane, stop biting. My name is J.Cotto. Thank you for joining my fight page. This has been another edition of Late Night Boxing Talk. I love each and every one of you guys. Peace to my man Dilltown. You know what I mean? YTBC student, Blood Boxing, 10 players, JR the Boxing Junkie, and it goes on and on. MMA Boxing Talk. Peace to everybody, man. And don't worry, Trump got elected. So what? We're not heading into a purge. And all of you guys out there that are looting and destroying your own neighborhoods and pulling people out of cars and beating the shit out of them because they voted Trump, you guys are contradicting yourselves. You know why? Because if you're beating them up because you voted for Trump because Trump was white and crooked or whatever the hell is it that you're thinking, what was Hillary Clinton? A white female. Crooked. Crooked as, oh man, a 3-year-old trying to write an alphabet letter. So stop it. Bring peace to each other, man. Let's all live under the word of God, man. You guys need to stop this. You need to stop it, and you need to stop it hard. Because what's going to happen here is you're going to start something that you're not going to be able to stop. Law enforcement's going to get crazy. And instead of using rubber bullets, man, you're going to force them to put us into concentration camps. The stuff you're fearing, you're going to bring it into fruition. You guys need to stop it. I had said that when Trump won, God just basically gave America and the whole world, basically, a whole exorcism. Now everybody's demonic. Everybody's out there hating each other. Everybody's out there trying to cause all types of harm to each other. Just chill out. Chill out. Because when the Obama administration was in there and Hillary Clinton was there, look what she was doing. So why are you fighting? Why are you harming people? Why are you hurting people? Your own brothers and sisters. When the Obama administration was there was more crooked lines than a 3-year-old trying to scribble out the alphabet, man. WikiLeaks has put it out there. There was a lot of Satanism going around, a lot of fucking devil, excuse me, Lord for cursing, a lot of devil worshipping, a lot of pedophilia rings, man. You gotta stop this. Know the facts before you act, man. Come on, guys. My name is J.Cotto. Thank you for joining my fight page. God bless. Stay vigilant. Peace.
Ain't nothing, just listen. It's the gospel with conviction. The apostles in your kitchen. It's the last night to be chicken. Jesus throwing my money dance. You know we run the scene. Either jump in the ring or get under the wing. Generals live forever, but they remember kings. You won't either jump in this ring or get under the wing, but you never.